I worked for small and large companies in Korea for 13 years and have been doing business in Silicon Valley for 12 years. Along the way, I have learned lots of interesting and surprising cultural differences between the two. In this video, I'd like to share with you 3 of them and cover the rest in the next videos. Please take a look at this picture. Which one do you think this monkey must be grouped with? Panda or banana? Let me give you 2 seconds. Whenever I ask this question to my students, almost all Americans say monkey and panda. Almost all Asians say monkey and banana. Interesting, isn't it? Because Americans focus on each individual characteristics. They analyze to understand the core essence of each object. So they chose monkey and panda because they are mammals. Americans believe I am center of everything. So I is always capital in English. And their first name comes first, not family name. They are very, very independent in nature, and this is called individualism. Whereas Asians group objects based on the relationship, how they relate to one another. So they chose monkey and banana because monkey likes eating bananas. Asians want to see the context to understand you better, which organization you belong to, which families you come from, etc. So their family name comes first, not first name. They are interdependent and use we more frequently than I. And this is called collectivism. These fundamental differences will explain most of the stories I'd like to share with you from now. Difference 1, 9 to 5 or flexible, work from home. I went to work by 8:30 in the morning and came home late almost every day in Korea because I had things to do, and I went out for dinner with my colleagues and team members, and sometimes I had to wait for my boss to go home. So I used to get home after like 9 or 10 p.m. usually, and my kids were sleeping. And one day I was kind of drunken and I woke them up, and they asked, "Who are you?" I said, "Your daddy," and they cried. Not because they were so happy to see me, but because they were scared by a stranger. Can you believe that? But fortunately, Korea is changing now. So many companies are adopting 9 to 5 very strictly and considering work and life balance more seriously than before. After a pandemic, many people predict more and more employees will work from home. And that will require from each employee very strong self-discipline, time management, creativity, communication skills, and more. I think that could be a big challenge for Korean companies because they're not used to it and they're not trained that way either. From preschool to high school, students follow the schedule set by their parents, moving from school to after-school programs back to back until late night. When they go to college, that's the time for them to start choosing classes on their own. On the other hand, American students come home by 3 p.m., even for high school students. They choose themselves classes, regular classes, AP classes, extra activities, summer interns, summer volunteers, prioritize things to do, and make their decisions. They're pretty well trained that way since young, so they're pretty good at managing themselves at work. Besides, they have already had flexible work hours and work from home practices. I had a meeting with a manager in IBM, and after the meeting, she said, "I'll go to gym and go home." It was only 2 p.m., so I asked her, "Really? Don't you need to get an approval from your boss?" And she said, "No, why? I'm done for today." And it sounds like, why are you asking that stupid question? And one of my friends in Google said, "I can work anytime, anywhere. As long as I meet my performance objectives, it doesn't matter if I come to the office or just work at home." Difference 2, mentoring or coaching. When I entered the company in Korea, there were 6 members in my team. general manager, deputy general manager, 2 managers, assistant manager, and myself. The assistant manager was my mentor. He joined the team about 3 years before me. I had to learn everything from him. If I bring a problem to him, he gave me a direct answer what to do. The team leader was a mentor for the managers. And one of the managers was a mentor for the assistant manager. And the assistant manager was a mentor for me. In Asian culture, that's very typical way of learning things, top down. Because according to the Doctrines of Confucius, Asians learned they must respect experience, age, and seniority. So they must serve seniors in town, teachers in school, and bosses at work, just like their own parents, and obey them without questions. Whereas in Silicon Valley, when an employee brings a problem to his manager, the manager asks him questions, makes him think, and helps him solve the problem himself. This is called coaching style. Becoming a good coach is the #1 behavior for best Google managers. Google founders and former CEO Eric Schmidt also had coaches. And it is common CEOs and executives in Silicon Valley have outside coaches. Americans are very good at exchanging ideas, different perspectives, asking provoking questions, and getting good ideas from there. Scholars say that's originated from Greek philosopher Aristotle and the city-states of Greece. So I can easily see many discussions, debates, and presentations in the American school system. People describe this time as unstable, uncertain, ambiguous, complex, disruptive, and so on. Yesterday's knowledge and success equation may not work for tomorrow. So in this rapidly changing world, I think coaching is better than mentoring in developing employees. Difference 3, long service or frequent move. I worked for one company for 12 years in Korea. It's easy to find a person who worked for one company for more than 20 years. Fortunately, my bosses liked me, recognized my abilities, and treated me very well. They became my big brothers, and sometimes we had family dinners outside. I really enjoyed my company life. It was very strong motivation for me to work hard and stayed in one place for more than a decade, even though sometimes I got phone calls from headhunters who were offering me much better salaries and benefits packages. In Asia, a company is an organism where the social relations become an integral part of what holds things together. Individuals sometimes sacrifice personal interests for the group goal. In contrast, in Silicon Valley, people move from A to B. After 1 or 2 years, sometimes longer, move to C easily. I have seen many American friends move to much smaller companies and even startups from giant companies like Apple, Google, Facebook, etc. For Americans, a company is just a modular place where they use it for personal goals, and the members enter relationships for individual interests. So it's just like a professional sports team tied by a contract. Please leave a comment below. I'd love to hear from you. If you like this video, make sure to click on the button like, subscribe, and hit the bell so you can be notified when I post my next video. Thank you very much. See you next week.